Welcome back. This is class number 4. So if you are first joining us, I encourage you to stay if you'd like, but go review the introductory material. It's about a 3-minute video talking about what we're going to do in classes 1, 2, and 3, which we will be building on today. Class 1, we really worked on just lengthening our breath. Class 2, we worked on shaping the breath. Class 3, we worked on some refinements with breath work. So we're going to continue with those refinements. We're going to focus a little more on where we feel our breath and not so much where we feel it, but then can we direct it where we would like to direct it. We'll do some of the breath work today sitting, some of the breath work laying down on our backs, and some of the breath work we will do laying on our front. So we'll be moving positions, although breath work, pranayama, is a definite intricate part of yoga itself. In these practices, we're not going to do very much actual yoga. We won't do very many movements. We'll combine some gentle movements with the breath work all the way in class 10. So hang in to class 10. Part 4 is called part 1 of our Ujjayi breath, and that is our fierce breath, our ocean sounding breath, our fog the mirror breath. So we've been talking about that fogging. We've been using our hand to feel our fogging the mirror onto our hands, but we're just going to assume that that's the breath work that you work with when you're taking your breaths. And as you know, we are fogging into our hand the sound, and to breathe in is more of an ah or an inhale, and all that breath work is through the nose if you can. As you breathe more and more through your nose, actually the nasal passages even open. They get more effective at detoxifying some of the things that we do breathe in. So I encourage you to work with your in and out of your nose breath work whenever you can. We have our blanket. We learned how to make our pranayama bolster yesterday, and we will or in that last class 3, whenever you took it, and we will once again be working with that. You just take that long side, and you essentially are accordion folding, so you have a nice skinny, long, but slightly thicker piece to work with. Any blanket will do. It doesn't have to be anything specific. So I'm just going to put that aside at the moment because we're not going to use that right away. The first thing we're going to go back to working on is that grid awareness. And in our grid awareness, we're focusing on where in our lungs do we get the most breath. And without being too physiologic, gravity helps our lower lung accumulate the most air, and breathing into that lower lung is really what's going to get you the most oxygen. It's the closest to the diaphragm, so the diaphragm supports it, but not only that, the movements of the diaphragm create negative pressure that allow for those end passages, the alveoli in our lungs, to fill with oxygen. And in fact, those lower lobes are the biggest. So it would be natural to be able to feel most of your air going to the lower lungs, but for whatever reason, we don't always all feel that way. Now, when you're working on your breath work, be in any comfortable seated position. I'm going to sit up on a block. If you have a block, you want to use a block. I have my nice little chair behind me where I could sit if I chose to. I think I got my sweater on there. And you really want to be comfortable. Breath work work should be comfortable. It should not be an effort. If you are ever feeling like it's becoming too much, go out of the breath work, breathe through your mouth if you would like, and don't expect huge increments of change all at once. Try to realize that this is a very subtle practice. It's a quiet practice. It's a practice that will give you so much benefit in the long run, but you don't notice lots and lots of changes. Although after I do work with my breathwork practice, even for 5 or 10 minutes, because that's all the time often we have, it is a very calming and soothing. Okay, so going back to that grid awareness, think of a line down the middle of your body and just take a few moments just to breathe naturally, perhaps extending your inhales and exhales a little bit to just notice, where do you notice the most breath going? Is it your right side? Is it your left side? It's not a quiz. It's just your body. And if you can't tell, no worries. One of these days, you might be able to tell. Now imagine that grid has 4 different quadrants. So your right upper side, your left upper side, right and left lower side to your lungs. Take about another 45 seconds just to breathe in and out. And can you feel where that breath is going the most? And where is it going the least? So as we work our first set of 6 inhales, 6 exhales with Ujjayi breath, fogging the mirror breath, we will try to notice which side is the driest, and can you send air in? Wherever you are, exhale. Then start to breathe through your nose. I'll cue you for the 6 breaths in, so you'll be at your own pace. I'll just say inhale, and then we're not pausing, we're going straight into the exhale. If you can breathe in through your nose and out through your nose the entire time, excellent. We're doing 6-second inhale, 6-second exhale. We're going to do 6 rounds. So 5 rounds of that would be a minute. So just a little over a minute. Exhale fully. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Very nice. Let that go. We're going to go ahead and lay on our pranayama bolster. So I'll give you a moment if you need to set it up, and if you didn't focus too much, take any long rectangle, and we're just doing accordion folds. My folds are about 6-8 inches wide. So the idea is that this is wider than your spine but narrower than your hips. And then we'll take the one end and we're going to move our bottom to the end of that blanket and lay down comfortably. I'm going to position you in to the laying position that I want you, but I'm going to go ahead and sit up to talk you through the cues. But lay back, then use whatever extra blanket you have to move it up under your head. So it should just be really stable, really nice, a very slight arch to your back, but a supported, comfortable one. And just to begin with, to do our grid awareness, start with your hands down at your side. Like I said, I'm going to come up. You stay on your back, and you can close your eyes. If it helps you to peek over at the screen, absolutely. And once again, start to notice that grid, that bisecting and then transecting, and just take about 30-45 seconds to just notice that part of your body, where you're sending your air, which part is the driest, the least sensation of air, which part of your lungs has the most sensation of air. And once you feel like you have come comfortable with what you need to know, go ahead and see if you can then send your air into that driest quadrant. Can you fill it like a balloon? Do you have to open your side ribs? Do you have to open your back? Are you breathing all the way in through your belly to get that? You are still on your back. You can activate Ujjayi breath, breathing in through your nose, out through your nose. Take about 3 rounds at your own pace. Full inhale, moving directly to the exhale. 3 rounds, filling all 4 quadrants of that space. Exhaling from all 4 quadrants. Breath has dimension to it. It fills your lungs side to side, front to back, up to down. And then when you complete your 4th round, transition over to your side and then come back up to any comfortable seated position. If your legs aren't so bendy and you want them out in front of you or one leg out, either way. But we're going to move into our child's pose. So your pranayama blanket's all nicely folded up, but we're going to undo it, and we're going to just maybe fold it over once, just something so that you can be in your child's pose. So in our child's pose, we're on our knees. So in yoga class, your child's pose will be either wide or closed, but for our class, I like the knees closed so I can really arch around my body and really feel my breath in my back body. So that's why I'm using a blanket. If it's too thick or too uncomfortable, let it go. Move around into a child's pose. Your arms can be out. They can be back behind you. They can be wherever you want. But traditionally, we have our hands in front. We're easing our head towards the mat, but we're rounding over this nice lumpy blanket, so your head's not going to probably be on the mat. And we're going to take those same 4 rounds, filling every quadrant of your lungs, filling all the way into the back body. I think you'll notice breathing more into your sides. So get your setup, settle into your child's pose, and here we go. With your nose breathing, with your fogging the mirror, that but your mouth is closed the whole time. So in your child's pose, breathe in, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Let that go. Okay. We're going to move to our front. Now everybody has a different position that they're comfortable in for their front posing. So you might want to use the blanket as a pillow. But we're going to move into our front body. Your hands can be at your side. Your hands can be your pillow. Whatever position makes you comfortable. I have a mat, but if you are just on your living room floor, you can spread your blanket out. Whatever makes you comfortable, because breath work should always be comfortable. Settle onto your abdomen. Imagine your 4 quadrants. Start to bring your attention to your breath. 6 cycles of Ujjayi breath. We're aiming to make the cycles about 6 seconds long. I'm not using my metronome yet, so it may not be exact. Go right into your exhale from your inhale and right into your inhale from your exhale. Let your air go. Take your first inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let your breath go. Nice work. Okay, we're going to finally move to our back. Once you move to your back, those of you who have a regular yogi practice and like Supta Baddha Konasana with our feet together and your knees wide, you can, if you're up against a wall, you can bring your legs up the wall and sit up the wall, but most of us are going to feel most comfortable on our back. At this point, we can stretch our legs. You can put, if you have a bolster or pillow of any sort, you can put that under your knees. You can bring your blanket over you if you're starting to feel cool. Use your blanket as a pillow. Either way. And our last nice round. So, lay on your back. Imagine your quadrants. Take a moment to notice, are they different? Again, no judgment if they are not. We're just feeling where breath moves in our body. And during the inhales, we're getting those big diaphragmatic movements. So your diaphragm's pulling down. It's creating that negative pressure to rush air into your lower lungs. You're filling your lower lungs. You're filling your side body. You're filling your back. We're doing all of this with our Ujjayi breath through our nose. Big exhale. Take a pause. Close your lips. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let that go. Maybe curl to one side. And have a seat up. Thank you for practicing with me today. If you'd like to take a moment laying on your mat for our Savasana pose, go ahead. Otherwise, enjoy your day, and I'll see you back at class 5.